Well, after President Donald Trump, now his Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has been facing certain accusations of trying to cash in on the conflict with Iran. According to a media report, Pete Hegseth's broker attempted to make a massive investment in major defense companies, and this happened in weeks leading up to the coordinated airstrikes from the United States as well as Israel on Iran. Let's take you through some of these details that have now emerged in the media. Hexeth's broker at Morgan Stanley contacted investment management company BlackRock in February. That's one of the claims, and that this discussion centered around making a multi-million-dollar investment in Defense Industrials Active ETF, which is an exchange-traded fund that invests in companies linked to the defense and industrial sectors. But what's also raising eyebrows is the timing of this particular discussion. As per this media report, it happened shortly before the US had launched strikes in Iran on the 28th of February. The discussed investment, however, failed to materialize due to operational constraints, as the fund was not available for Morgan Stanley clients at that particular point in time. Now, there's been a strong denial as well that's come from the Pentagon following this particular report, which has now claimed that these charges are completely baseless, that there was absolutely no such investment that had been planned or made by Pete Hegseth, that this is an attempt on the part of certain vested interests to mislead the public, and they've also demanded an immediate retraction of the report as well. This is, of course, a statement that's come from Sean Parnell, the chief Pentagon spokesperson as well. Let me, in fact, go across to my colleague Rishabh, who will take us through some more details now of the back and forth that we witnessed following the publication of the media report and the strong denials that have emanated from the Pentagon. The Pentagon has claimed that there was no such investment, Rishabh, that this is an attempt to malign the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. But then, of course, you have the media publication that had come out with this particular report questioning the timing of a planned investment in certain defense funds in the build-up to the war. However, those funds or that particular investment did not materialize. What's happening in the United States, and what's Pete Hegseth also saying?
Well, Siddharth, if we talk about this very case, we did reach out to Financial Times as well as Morgan Stanley about a response. We haven't heard anything from them. And so independently, we cannot confirm or deny this. While the Department of War, which Pete Hegseth lead, suggests that this is a completely fabricated report, and they have actually asked for the retraction of this very report. As of now, there hasn't been any clear statement that has come in. Yes, there is a denial that no such investment has been made. There is a denial that there was nothing of the sort that Financial Times have reported. But as of now, there hasn't been any counter proof given. That is something that is very clear. Stanley Morgan, or for that matter, Department of War, has not further given any statement about this whole case. Financial Times has also not come out with anything new on this very story which they have published. The Department of War definitely has asked for retraction. Remains to be seen how things unfold. Because if this is true, if the FT report is true, it means that Pete Hegseth has used his stature, use his position to actually make financial gains out of national security, and which definitely is prohibited under the law. If that is true, Pete Hegseth might will have to also leave the position. But if it is not true, then it remains to be seen how things unfold. So, as of now, independently, given that we haven't heard from Stanley Morgan, or for that matter, Financial Times, independently, we cannot deny or confirm this report. But the reports have very strong allegations.
Currently, purely in the realm of claims, Rishabh, and a strong denial coming there from the Pentagon as well. We'll wait and see as to how this now further evolves, and what Morgan Stanley as well as Financial Times, just carried this report, have to further say about this denial from the Pentagon.